everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth and I run the blog Life from the Viola section. Today I'm going to be using ChatGPT. If you haven't heard of ChatGPT, I'm just a little bit jealous of you because I feel like it's all I read about on the internet now. So ChatGPT is like an AI software where you can ask it questions and it generates answers and full blog posts and scripts, songs, anything you really want it to generate, it will do. So I thought I would use it as the musician that I am to see if it could create a doable practice routine for me or practice plan. So let's go to ChatGPT, see what it pulls up, and we will do this routine, I think, for 3 days. Today's Wednesday.
Hi friends, Editing Elizabeth here to kind of just give you some notes and what to expect in this video. Originally, I was going to really test out this practice plan that ChatGPT gave me in today's video, and then I found a few inconsistencies in ChatGPT. So we are really just testing how accurate is ChatGPT's musical knowledge. And then I've decided to split up all the footage that I have into 2 videos. So this part 1 is just an average practice plan that I asked before. I just put in the search bar, give me a practice plan for viola. I did not say beginner, intermediate, advanced. I did not ask for any specific techniques to be focused on, although ChatGPT really likes focusing on spiccato. So it kind of did go that direction. And then part 2 will be asking ChatGPT to develop more in-depth practice plans based on a specific level or a specific technical need.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what ChatGPT does. Okay, so this seems like a fairly typical kind of standard, not super specific blog post that you might find if you look up like how to practice the viola. So we've got warm-up exercises, and it even has time lengths, which I think is a nice addition. It doesn't work for everyone, of course. Everyone has different limits and a different length that works for them. Some people can work on an etude in 30 minutes. Other people, it will take longer. Other people won't focus for that long. That's just how, it's an individual thing. That's really all that is. But I love that it says some stretches, long, slow scales to get your fingers moving. That's good. Then technical exercises. This is a great basis to go off of. Okay, so choose a few etudes. Typically, if I am practicing and I include an etude in my routine, I only do 1, maybe 2. If it depends on what exactly I'm looking for. Basically, like if I know that a piece I'm using has spiccato, then maybe I'll find an etude that focuses on that, do maybe like half of it. And then if there's another piece that I'm working on that has double stops, then I'll find an etude that really focuses on double stops and work through a bit of that. Or generally, I include double stops in my scales as part of my, I guess, technical exercises, really. But I mean, this is a good starting point. Then solo repertoire. Few pieces. Okay, so it just depends on, I mean, I did not say like, I'm a professional, I went to college, I've worked on, the big concertos and all of that. It does not know whether I'm a beginner or whether I'm a professional. So a few pieces for 30 minutes, if you're a beginner, yeah, that will probably work pretty well. If you're, college educated musician and you're working on the difficult professional level repertoire, then I think a few pieces in 30 minutes is a little much. Sight reading is a great addition, not one that I really would have thought to include if I were writing an article like viola practice plan, or if I was just creating a practice plan for myself. I wouldn't really include that, but I like that. Choose a new piece of music and sight read through it, focusing on accuracy and rhythm. Very good. Review for 10 minutes. Yeah, reviewing after your session is really, really good, especially writing things down and thinking, well, tomorrow I want to focus on these things that didn't go well today. Also, love this too. This is especially important, especially for violists, because our instruments are so heavy and a lot of us deal with physical problems on our instrument. So I really like this. Now, what if I say, recommend an etude for viola that focuses on spiccato? The Spiccato Etude by Franz Wolfhardt. Okay, number 23. Wow, that is really in depth. Let's actually take a look at Etude number 23. Okay, so the Opus 45 that I'm looking at does not look like spiccato. So I think that this is where ChatGPT gets it wrong, because it says Opus 45, number 23, is specifically designed to help develop spiccato technique. It starts with basic spiccato strokes on open strings and gradually progresses to more complex patterns with different rhythms and string crossings. So I'm looking at 23 right now. We'll look at that together. Should start out with basic spiccato strokes on open strings. Does not look like it to me. So the one before it does somewhat, no, not the one before it. Two before it does look like it would be spiccato, but we're not starting out on open strings. So I'm not quite sure which one it's referring to. I'm going to do a little bit more research and see if I can figure anything out. Let's ask it to recommend something else, or actually let's regenerate the response. See if we get something a little more accurate. Kreutzer Etude number 9. Often referred to as the spiccato etude, so it's telling me the same thing. Written in D minor and requires the violist to play across all 4 strings. Interesting. Let's get out my Kreutzer book and see. All right, so here's number 9 in my Kreutzer book. If you know anything about staccato and spiccato, this is not it. So, etude number 9, I do not believe this one is referred to as the spiccato etude. All right, but let's see if I can find one that's in D minor and requires the violist to play across all 4 strings. Let's see if I can actually find one like that. Did not find anything in my Kreutzer book. So it specifically said the etude consists of a series of 16th notes played at a moderate tempo with the emphasis on a clear, crisp spiccato stroke. The etude is written in D minor and requires the violist to play across all 4 strings, making it a great exercise for improving string crossing and bow control. I did find one that might be somewhat similar. Let me just find it again. Okay, actually I think I found 2 that might fit the bill. The first one is simply number 2 in the Kreutzer book. There's not spiccato written in, but look at all of these different ways, these different practice suggestions. So there is a spiccato suggestion. This one just barely goes on the C string here and there, really just a 3rd finger F, but that's it. So I'm thinking it could be this one. It's all 16th notes. This is probably the best bet, but it is not number 9, it's number 2. Another contender possibly is number 9, but it has a lot of staccatos and a lot of triplets. So this is great for down and up bow, slurred staccato, portato, all those things, but not consistent. So I think we'll have to go with number 2. Now we've picked out an etude. Should try some technical exercises. Recommend a technical exercise for viola spiccato. Down bow spiccato, down bow strokes only. Then alternate with up bow staccato, up bow strokes only. On different parts of the bow, starting at the frog and working your way to the tip. Oh, we're going to have some fun trying spiccato at the tip of the bow today. Okay, we'll try this. We'll try it. let's find a piece of solo repertoire that has spiccato. With spiccato. I don't know if I need to recommend me a piece of viola repertoire. Concerto. Oh, by Bartók. Oh, man. All right, well, definitely, yes. Okay, that's pretty accurate. What if we want to try something more geared towards beginners? Or actually, let's say intermediate. Recommend intermediate viola repertoire with spiccato. 2, Romanian folk dances, Bartók again. Oh, they referenced the viola concerto again. That's great. Yes, I was hoping they'd mention the Telemann concerto. Okay. Cool. So, I think I'm going to practice the Bartók concerto again. I have not touched it in probably 2 years. And I'll also practice, I guess, the third movement. Is that what it, yeah, third movement of Telemann's concerto. Let's see. Recommend something to sight read on viola. Sure. Oh, well, thank you, ChatGPT. Oh, is this the well, I already know that. So, tell me an obscure piece to sight read on viola. Hindemith! Not too difficult for an intermediate level player to sight read. It says written in 1999, so I'm assuming this is Opus 11 number 1. Is that the right number? If it's not, I'll write it on the screen, but take your time with this piece and enjoy exploring the unique sound world of Hindemith's music. Well, yeah, but I played that for my senior recital, and it is hard. Okay, obscure piece to sight read on viola, intermediate level. Even though this said intermediate level player, what's it going to give me next? It's thinking really hard. What are you scouring the web for obscure viola pieces? Viola sonata. I don't know this one. Let's see if I can find this piece just through a Google search. I have a feeling it's probably just not in public domain. Category, but it's missing viola sonata. Okay. Can I at least preview some of it? Tartini. Stellar sonata. Interesting that it found that, though. I'm impressed that it was that obscure, which is good. Okay. Let's get to practicing now. I have my work cut out for me. So my next order of business, which should take 20 minutes, is technical exercises. Practice bowing exercises such as spiccato, staccato, and martelé. Practice left-hand exercises such as shifting, vibrato, and double stops. So when I asked it for a technical exercise for viola spiccato, it told me, start with simple exercise of open strings using spiccato. Begin with down bow staccato, down bow strokes only, and then alternate with up bow spiccato, up bow strokes only. That is just the first step out of 5. So I'm going to put on the timer for 20 minutes. We'll start with that one. We'll follow along in the process. Okay, so open strings, down bow spiccatos only. Like this. Then alternate with up bow spiccato, up bow strokes only. This is hard to do, by the way, if you're not experienced very much in spiccato. Spiccato is a very hard bow stroke to articulate. So spiccato is usually down and up strokes alternated. And you just barely leave the string to make that bouncy staccato sound. A lot of students, when they start out playing spiccato, will bounce a lot like this, which is a little too much. So my spiccato strokes, I stay close to the frog. Just tiny, tiny little motions, and that creates that off the string stroke. So once you have the hang of playing spiccato on open strings, try playing the same exercise on different parts of the bow, starting at the frog and working your way to the tip. I always perform spiccato in the lower half of the bow, usually close to the frog. But if I need something lighter, I'll go. But see, even here it gets muddy. But here it's less off the string. So you have to find that perfect balance point, bounce area, which is right about here in my bow, but it's different for every single bow. So I am supposed to try the same exercise on different parts of the bow, starting at the frog, going to the tip. Listen to how it's changing. This is really difficult to control. I had to use my hand completely differently when I was at the tip of the bow, and that does not feel like regular spiccato to me. Spiccato is really lower half of the bow for me. Next, try playing a simple scale such as C major using spiccato. Focus on keeping your bow arm relaxed and your strokes even. Okay, I'm just gonna play 2 notes twice. Finally, try incorporating spiccato into a piece of music that you are currently working on, paying attention to the dynamics and phrasing. So let's find, I'm gonna take one of these wolf heart etudes. I've been working on the first one with a violin student. So like I've been playing through it to demonstrate for her here and there. On the violin, of course, but you know, viola, it's, for viola, it's just written down a 5th lower, so it feels very similar. So let's add spiccato to the wolf heart Opus 45 number 1 etude. That was fine. Let's see how much time I have left for these technical etudes. That was only 5 minutes. That was a quarter of the time. So, I guess I'll do that again, just to practice more spiccato. Woo! Okay, my wrist is feeling a little tired. So now maybe it's set to focus on right hand techniques and then focus on left hand techniques. I have 13.5 minutes left, so a little bit more than half the time, but now why don't I focus on some left hand stuff? Okay, I technically have just a couple more minutes left on the timer, but my hand is starting to get pretty tired from all of those double stops and just from more intense playing than I've been doing lately. I did do a lot of playing last Friday, and the muscle in between my third and fourth fingers got really, really sore for a couple days, which I used to experience all the time when I first started practicing octaves regularly, like at the start of college. And I just know that it's from overuse, and I really don't want that to hurt again. This week I've been putting some gel on it, which really, really helps. It's been just relaxing the muscle, but I don't want to aggravate that anymore, and I do have to get ready to teach. So I'll meet you back here in a couple hours over my next break after my dinner break, and we'll get the rest of the practicing out of the way. Let's get out the repertoire, which is the Bartok Concerto. I'm too tired for this, but here we go. So looking at the third movement of the Bartok Viola Concerto, at the beginning of the third movement, I wrote on in capital letters. So no spiccato towards the beginning or even the middle. But the only place where I see quick notes with dots would be just a little past 210. Here we've got some dots. So I think I did the beginning of this run spiccato, and then as it gets higher and louder, I went more on the string just to get a bigger sound. And I think that's the only place where it's spiccato, so I don't think that this movement should really be considered spiccato, and I think GPT was a little wrong for that. Let's see if it has any other recommendations, just to see. Oh wait, no, it did. It did have a recommendation. It was the Telemann Viola Concerto, third movement. Let's take a look at that one. Okay, I don't know if we're talking about the same third movement of the Telemann Concerto in G major for viola, but I see no spiccato. Back to the search box, I guess. Okay, share a viola piece full of spiccato. Oh no, I'm not learning that tonight. Oh. Let's say share another viola piece full of spiccato. Second movement this time. Okay, did I read that wrong last time? The first time it gave me this answer, it said the third movement. Allegro vivace. This time, the second movement of the concerto features a lively and rhythmic theme that is played entirely in spiccato. It is not. It's adagio religioso. And it's very, like, sustained, very quiet. So, yeah, that's not a good answer either. Regenerate. Okay, so I don't know this one. Okay, yes, the Tarantella well, does look like it would be staccato, but it says saltier. It's technically different. Okay, so I like the idea of this one. That seems okay, but just a simple Google search, I couldn't find any viola arrangement for this, and I don't feel like I should create my own or read off of a violin part right now for this specific video. So I'm just going to put in the same prompt again. See if it gives me something that was actually originally written for viola. Okay. I haven't played this one, but I know it. Well, I might have played it like once, but okay. Let's see what it says. So in the Capricioso, I see one beat that has staccatos, staccato 30-second notes in it, and they're all on what I assume would probably fall on an up bow. But that is hardly, that's up bow staccato, that's not spiccato. Those are different techniques. Okay, let's regenerate this response again. Rebecca Clark, okay. Okay, there are definitely spiccato passages in this, I think, but I'm kind of glad that it didn't give me a spot where there's supposed to be spiccato, because it's proven itself to not be trustworthy with that. So there are a couple spots in the first movement where I would play spiccato, and definitely in the second movement. Yeah, it even says spiccato in the middle of the second movement. Okay. So how many tries did it take me to get to this answer? First, it recommended Bartók to us, the third movement. There's one answer. And then it gave me these two. I didn't look at Romanian folk dances, actually. But the second one was the Telemann Concerto, which did not have spiccato. Third, it told us Bartók second movement. Then the Paganini Caprice, then the Sarasate, and then Rebecca Clark. So I had to ask it 6 times to get something that actually included spiccato and was actually correct. Okay, editing Elizabeth back here to finish out today's video and give you a little conclusion. So the rest of my experiments with ChatGPT will be coming next week in a part 2. So this was just my findings in a basic practice plan. I decided not to end up practicing for the next 2 days with this practice plan, just because there were so many inconsistencies, and I was also just really tired last week, so I just didn't really have the energy to do it. But in part 2, you will see me search for more specific practice plans, and we will also test if it can give me accurate exercises that actually make sense. Like today, it gave me that spiccato exercise where it said to do spiccato at the tip of the bow, which really is not a thing. So we'll see if there's anything else like that, how accurate it is, and all of that stuff. If you'd like to see more content about AI, please let me know or alert me of different types of AI things that are out there. I know that Notion has some AI built in now. I know that it's just a free trial, I think, because I don't pay for Notion. So I want to use that very sparingly, but if you know of any other programs out there that might be interesting for musicians, please let me know, because I would love to test out more stuff like this. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found it interesting, please give it a like and consider subscribing, because I post new videos basically every Sunday at noon Eastern time. Thanks for watching.